crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Viva Cuba Libre. Welcome into episode number 43 of the Picked Off Podcast, the hardest hitting 30 minutes of baseball coverage you will get all week. I'm your host, Bitter Mike Babbo. With me, as usual, is my partner in crime, Mr. Aric Big Country Schuler. Aric, how are you this Friday morning?
What is going on, everybody? I'm excited. We're heading into the weekend here. We are closing out some pretty big times during the year. College football season's coming to an end.
Yep.
It's sad for all of us, but we are, about a month away from pitchers and catchers.
Yep. The NFL is in full playoff physics, but like you said, pitchers and catchers report the 9th and the 10th. Some of the guys will report a little bit earlier. Anybody playing in the WBC, which is going to be in March, and so we're excited, and we got a lot to cover. Boy, we had some late-breaking news last night that really just put the icing on the cake for the free agent season, and it's just an absolute doozy, and we will analyze it, and I know Eric's got some thoughts on it. I got some thoughts on it, so let's get to it. We will continue, like I said, with our off-season coverage. We'll quickly review the transactions that have occurred over the last 7 days, then we will continue with round number 5, I believe, of our extra innings trivia contest between Mike and Aric. But first, more uncertainty, Aric, surrounding the MLB broadcast deals and how this affects fans' ability to watch their favorite teams. 9 major league teams have terminated their contracts with FanDuel Sports to broadcast their games. FanDuel's parent is Main Street Sports Group. They were formerly the Diamond Sports Group. They emerged from bankruptcy, I believe, in 2024. The team cited breach of contract by the provider when they missed monthly payments to more than one team. The entity was, like I said, formerly known as Diamond Sports Group. They had Bally Sports, and they had about 13 to 15 teams before they went to BK. In 2023, the TV deals with these teams were terminated, but then reworked after emerging from bankruptcy and renamed Main Street Sports. Main Street, which also broadcasts a dozen NHL and NBA games, said they are continuing to talk to these teams, but these MLB teams exited their contracts so as to avoid a repeat of being in the back of the line in the bankruptcy proceedings. And also, ominously, Main Street Sports has said, although they haven't said this publicly, that they will cease operations if they cannot find a buyer. They'll be done at the end of the NHL and NBA seasons. They missed a monthly payment to the Cardinals and the Marlins, prompting the cancellation. The options for the teams are either wait for someone to buy out Main Street Sports. Main Street has actually sent out a 3-year agreement to each of these 9 teams, contingent upon them being bought out by somebody. The teams could negotiate a new deal at the emergence of bankruptcy. They could negotiate a deal with somebody else. They can go private like the Rangers did. Or they sign on to MLB to broadcast the games via MLB TV and app and or ESPN. But again, Aric, this is more uncertainty as to how much money these teams are going to be taking in, because broadcast revenue is a huge part of their income.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this says, so what concerns me is I guess the direction sports is headed in general when it comes to being able to watch your teams. Doesn't matter whether it's basketball, baseball, football. So there's just a lot of different venues, and so I think the MLB is going to have to step in here. I think the MLB is going to have to do something to get everybody on. And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Dodgers should be equal to St. Louis, or the Dodgers should be equal to the Brewers, or the Yankees should be. What I'm saying is the MLB is going to have to do something with a revenue sharing agreement where they put them all on the same platform and they pay these teams different amounts of money. That's what I think needs to happen, just because there has to be some consistency. This whole idea of teams managing their own regional sports.
It's a joke. You put it perfectly a few episodes ago. You said you called it fragmented, and it's a perfect description.
It's not working. It's not working. No. There needs to be some solidification. There needs to be some consistency around how these teams are being watched in the networks that they're utilizing. And so I think the MLB is going to have to step in. This is going to be I believe, I know that we don't think this in historical terms from a CBA standpoint, but I think this is going to be discussed at the CBA.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
And the clock is ticking on these teams to make up their minds, and also for Main Street Sports to find a buyer, because they're going to start broadcasting games around the 26th of February. And so the teams are going to want these deals in place. They're going to want Main Street to have a buyer and have it closed. I mean, they're not going to have it closed by that deadline. So
I think they're going to have a hard time finding a buyer, Mike.
I agree.
I
because
don't.
This is going to be the second time that they've gone into bankruptcy, and this what does it tell you? The model's broken.
That's right. It has nothing to do with Main Street Sports. It has to do with the model.
Right. Exactly. Because with streaming and being able to cut off your contract with 30 days notice. I mean, like with me, I have YouTube, and so I'm not going to pay a ton of money, $225 to get 300 channels from DirecTV, and I only watch like 4 or 5 of them.
100%. So yeah, the model's broken. They're going to have to make some changes, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to have to come from the big dog upstairs, and that's the MLB. They're going to have to get involved and make something right here.
The problem with that, and I agree with you, the problem with that is MLB has some sort of a revenue sharing deal with the teams that they have contracts with. So if they make money, you make money, and if we make more money, you make more money. Whereas the MLB teams with Diamond Sports Group and Main Street Sports, they get a one-time flat set fee that they can depend on, and so they know how much they are able to spend on payroll and keeping the lights on and such. With this, is a little bit more murkier. Maybe they go with some type of a hybrid with a flat fee plus some incentives, but there's a lot to be ironed out and not much time to do.
Yeah, so I understand that. But I'm going to tell you, college football or college sports, university sports has struggled through this. Yeah. Right? You had the Longhorns start the Longhorn Network. It was a flop, and then ESPN ended up buying them out. Of that, and I think all these conferences are starting to go to kind of top down management of their TV revenue, and I think that's the way you have to do it in order for it to be one, consistent, and two, a quality product, and three, take care of teams the way they should be taken care of. LA should not have the same television revenue as the Brewers. They shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you there, but we have so much to cover that we're going to have to move on.
Yep, understood.
But this will be a story that we will follow on the Picked Off podcast. This is something very passionate for me because I grew up watching baseball. You grew up watching baseball with your father, and that is an incredible tradition for baseball fans. It's great watching your favorite team on the tube, and it's been harder and harder to find your favorite team on the tube. I certainly don't want it like the NBA, where the Spurs, one night they're on one channel, another night they're on Main Street, and it's just an absolute mess. So we will follow this and keep it right here on the Picked Off podcast for weekly updates. The latest moves coming out of the free agent market and the trade market, and there were a lot of them, and certainly there was one last night that blew everybody's mind. Let's start in order of appearance. The Cubs strike big and finally land third baseman Alex Bregman. It's a 5-year, $175 million deal for the 32-year-old, including $70 million in deferrals. However, there are no opt-outs, and Bregman gets his full no-trade clause that he was looking for. He didn't get it from the Red Sox, didn't get it from the Mets, and so the Cubs welcome him with open arms. Last year in 114 games, he was out 6 weeks with a quad injury. He hit .273 with a .360 on-base percentage, of .462 slugging, and an .822 OPS. He slugged 18 home runs and drove in 62 runs. Both stats were second lowest of his career in a non-COVID year, but that's because he was out with that quad injury. He started off incredibly hot, came back, got hot, but then cooled off. The Red Sox, they did offer 5 years at $165, so a little bit less, but a lot more deferred money, and they would not grant a no-trade clause to him. So Craig Breslow loses out. The plan now for the Red Sox is to move Marcelo Mayer to third base or fill a spot with a more natural third baseman. Maybe they sign Eugenio Suarez. Maybe they trade for Nico Horner from the Cubs. Maybe they trade for Isaac Paredes from the Astros. Aric, your thoughts on this?
I like this signing for the Cubs. Truthfully, I'm indifferent to this signing. The only thing I really like about this signing is it spurned the Red Sox. I'm happy about that. I do think the Red Sox missed out here. They needed Bregman. They needed a third baseman, quality third baseman.
Yeah, they got a hole in their lineup now.
And I would have. I don't understand why they didn't didn't come to the table with a little bit more money and try to, like, I like the fact that they held firm on their no trade clause. Like, you got to have the ability to move some of these guys, especially guys who are over the age of 30. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen with your team. He would be one of the older guys on the team. Boston's very young. And so I like this signing for the Cubs. Very happy that the Red Sox got smoked here, but I thought they were being pretty responsible.
They did recover nicely, Aric. They did sign one of the top free agent pitchers out there.
Absolutely.
Ranger Suarez agrees to go to Beantown for 5 years and $130 million. He's 30 years old. Each of the last 2 years, he has guarded 12 wins against only 8 losses. 150 innings plus he has thrown, 3.75 ERA, a 3.43 ERA, and a 3.75 strikeout to walk ratio. This guy is as solid and as dependable as the day is long. And I love this pivot for the Red Sox because their pitching staff is strong. And you have to be strong with the Yankees, who have an incredible pitching staff. Say what you want about their hitting, but they're really strong in the starting rotation. And, of course, the Blue Jays, the American League champion.
No, look, I think Red Sox have one of the top brass in the league. Right, from the standpoint of a back office, and I think they did a great move here. I really like this signing for them. Obviously, as a Yankees fan, it disappoints me that the Yankees weren't involved here. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a great signing for Boston. You hear me talk about it a lot. You cannot stand pat in this league. They missed the playoffs they made the playoffs, got beat by the Yankees, dispatched pretty quickly.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're not standing pat. They're going out making moves, trying to improve their roster year in, year out to compete for a divisional title.
Yeah. The Cubs weren't done, though. I mean, before they signed Bregman, they acquired starting pitcher Edward Cabrera from the Miami Marlins for 4 prospects, including top 10 prospect Owen Casey. Cabrera is a 27-year-old. He's had some injury history, but he's still under contract or under control for the Cubs through 2027. He had injuries to his elbow and finger. They limited him to 26 starts, but he still had a 3.53 ERA and a 1.23 WHIP and a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. The rotation is very solid for the Northsiders. They have Cade Horton, who was second in a Rookie of the Year last year, Matt Boyd, Jameson Taillon, Shota Imanaga, who accepted a deal to avoid arbitration. I think he's going to make $22 million in 2026. Colin Ray and Justin Steele, when they get back from their injuries, they're going to be very solid. And of course, look, I know losing Tucker is going to hurt them a little bit, but they still have Matt Shaw. They still have Michael Bush. Nico Horner is a solid defender, and he's got great bat-to-ball skills. And, of course, they have Dansby Swanson at short. I just still think that they are going to be the team to beat in the NL Central, especially if the Brewers trade Freddie Peralta. But
if the Brewers trade Freddie Peralta, I totally agree with you. I'm just going to say one thing on this pitcher they traded for on Cabrera. I am really concerned about pitchers when they're lingering injuries or upper body injuries. You have pitchers that have lower body injuries from time to time, and I can get over that. But man, I do worry about elbow and hand. Those things can linger for a long time. They can be nagging injuries. That would be my only concern with this trade, because they did give up a lot for him, including that top 10 prospect in Cassie.
Yeah. The Cardinals finally say goodbye to Nolan Arenado after a couple of years, actually probably 3 years of trying to trade him. He goes back to the NL West. Great, because he killed the Giants in his time in Colorado. But this time he goes to Arizona. The Diamondbacks gave up a starting pitcher, Jack Martinez. He was a 2025 8th-round pick from Arizona State. The Cards are also going to send $31 million to help the Diamondbacks pay for the $42 million remaining on the last 2 years of Arenado's deal. Arenado is now 34 years old. He in 436 plate appearances, he hit career low 237 with a 289 on-base percentage and a 377 slugging percentage. He also hit a career low 12 home runs and had a career low 6.4 walk rate. Look, this guy's still an elite defender. And after Arizona tried to and then said, no, we're not going to trade Ketel Marte, they brought in Merrill Kelly. They brought him back. They're close to getting Zach Gallen back. And I think that Arizona, I guess this is going to be on the cheap. They're only going to owe him $11 million for the next couple of years, and there's a good chunk. There's a good chunk of that's owed by the Rockies too. I think they're going to pay $5 million to him the next 2 years.
Yeah, I don't like honestly, I don't like this trade at all for the Cardinals. I don't think they got anything.
Well, you don't like for the Cardinals.
For the Cardinals. Okay. I don't like anything about this trade for them. I think this is a panic move. I mean, at the end of the day, you're covering the guy's salary. Just keep him around. He's an elite defender, even if you sit him on the bench, right? You're not monetizing him in any way, in any significant way, in my opinion. I wouldn't have made this move. I would have let him go on to free agency. I just don't see why the Cardinals felt like they needed to move him. I really don't. Now, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I get it. But you're not able to monetize him at all. You're covering dang near the entire cost.
Well, the flip side of this is that they've got a youth movement going on. Chaim Bloom is in his second year as their PBO, the president of baseball operations. He took over for John Mozeliak last year. And so he's probably thinking, look, we're going to have to pay this guy anyway. We might as well just go ahead and give some of our young studs a shot. Yeah, and he's on the way down. He's 34.
I hope it works out. But I'm just saying, I don't care for this move. This looks like maybe he had something to do with it, right? Maybe Arenado had something to do with it.
Well, what he did is that he expanded his no trade clause, his teams that he'd be willing to be traded to. Remember, they had a deal in the works to trade him to Houston, but he was part of that list saying, no, I don't want to go to Houston, and he would not waive his no trade clause. This time, they asked him, look, dude, let's expand this.
But what is this guy about? Right? He has a chance to go, look, for all intents and purposes, Houston's a contender.
Yeah.
Okay, he has a chance to go to a contender.
I know.
And now he's going to another team that's not a contender.
Well, Arizona underperformed.
Sure.
Right?
But
they signed Corbin Burns to the big deal, and he blew out his elbow.
100%. Right? But I would not consider them a top 4 or 5 teams, competing for the World Series. Now,
look, anything can happen.
Any team at the top of the league can, in the top 15 of the league, can compete for a World Series. But what I'm saying is, I just don't get this move. I mean, we can move on, but it doesn't make any sense for me if I'm a Cardinals fan.
Let's almost end. We got 2 more deals. The Yankees. Your Yankees finally made a deal. They acquired Ryan Weathers from Miami, a starting pitcher for 4 prospects. He's 26 years old. He's the son of former big leaguer David Weathers, who ironically was also traded from the Miami Marlins to the Yankees at the 1996 deadline. He's a former first-round pick of the San Diego Padres, but he struggled with the Friars coming out of the gate. Then they dealt him in 2023 to Florida. He was injured most of 24 and the first part of 25, but he pitched well for 5 starts before going on the IL again with a lat strain. 2026 is his first year of arbitration, so this is good for the Yankees. They got him under team control for at least a couple more seasons. He's got a potential to be a number 3 or number 4 starter, depending upon who gets healthy or who stays healthy with the Yankees. I actually kind of like this deal because they need to keep up with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox for sure.
Well, my opinion is they're not. I mean, I'll tell you.
I know you want Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. Well, this is not just coming from a Yankees fan. This guy's riddled with injuries, riddled with underperformance. I don't see this as a great move. I think it's fine. I think it adds some depth, but who knows what you're getting in this guy?
Yeah.
And so my thing is, this is a ho hum I just don't consider the Yankees a lightning in a bottle type team. There are teams out there that are lightning in a bottle type teams.
Yeah.
The Yankees shouldn't be one of them. This is a move that looks to me like, hey, we hope he works out. Right? That doesn't seem like a Yankees. That is definitely not the boss
rails
man.
Here. What do you want the Yankees to do? Of the remaining free agents or the remaining trade candidates out there, what do you want them to do?
Well, the one that I wanted just got signed last night. We could talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, man, the big blockbuster deal, the eye-opener that broke late last night, Jeff Paxson reported on ESPN that the Kyle Tucker, the number 1 free agent, did not go to the Mets, who was rumored to have him for a 4-year deal at $50 million per. Did not go to the Brewers, who were rumored to offer him a longer-term deal. He goes to he doesn't go back. He goes to Southern California, into the waiting arms of the evil empire that is the Los Angeles Dodgers for 4 years at a whopping $240 million. Break it down for you. $30 million of that is deferred only in years 2, 3, and 4. He has opt-outs after years 3 and 4. In 27, no, excuse me, in after 2027 and after 2028. The average annual value of this contract stands at $57.1 million. And here's one more stat that blew my mind. Because the Dodgers are over the highest luxury tax threshold amount for the third consecutive year, if Kyle Tucker stays for the entire 4 years, it will cost the Dodgers a total of $504 million.
Luxury tax.
Right, because they will, for every dollar they pay him in salary, they will owe the league $1.10. So the luxury tax on them, and by the way, they paid $169 million in luxury tax for the 2025 season, more than 16 teams' entire payroll. And so they're going to pay him, they're going to pay the league $264 million in luxury tax. This is nuts. I cannot. You can try and make sense of it, and I've read a number of articles between last night and this morning. And the Dodgers actually do have a hole in a corner outfielder spot. They weren't going to leave it up to one of the rookies. They weren't going to leave it up to Teoscar Hernandez, who had a down year last year. And so this does plug a hole for them. And it's a short-term deal. It's not the 8-year or 12-year deal that some people are projecting that he was going to get, because he does have some injury history.
That is my point, Mike. When we talked last night, when we exchanged text messaging last night about this deal, and I tell you, Dodgers are playing chess, everybody else is playing checkers.
I disagree with that.
Right? I disagree
with that. They're playing with more money. They're not playing chess.
There's other teams in the league that could throw that money around.
BS. The other teams in the league don't have a $325 million TV deal every year.
What I'm going to tell you, Mike, is there are other teams that could have made this deal. They could have made this deal.
Okay, you're going to tell me the Mets and the Yankees, because they have their own TV deals, and because Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, is worth $23 billion.
I think Boston could have made this deal. Right? I'm going to tell you right now, the guy that's working the GM spot in L.A.
Boston doesn't need him.
Right.
They're flush with outfielders.
100%.
So why would they make this deal?
I'm not saying they would make the deal. I'm saying they could. That's what I'm saying. Right? But what I'm going to tell you right now is the Dodgers GM is playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers. This is a short-term, high-value deal. Right? I bet you all these other teams weren't thinking about that. Right? Tucker took this deal because it's the best one he had available. That's why he took this deal.
That's fine.
And he's going to go play.
But they don't need to pay him $60 million a year.
We're talking about the Dodgers filling a hole when every other team in the league has 5 holes to fill. I mean, come on. These guys are going to win another World Series.
The projection was for him to get a $38 million per year deal. That's it, $38 million. And then the quants in all these offices are saying, okay, let's take a look at comparable players going into their age 29 season, because he turns 29 on Saturday morning, tomorrow morning when this thing airs. And they looked at his injury history, and they say, you know what? And also his bat speed, which is kind of average, and it's only going to go slower, right? So they say, you know what? I don't think he's going to get a 6-year, 7-year deal. I think we're going to offer him 4 years. We don't know if those reports are accurate that the Blue Jays were going to offer him 6-7 years. We don't know if I think the Mets were going to offer him 50. But here's the other thing, too. The Mets weren't going to offer him more AAV than Juan Soto, who they just signed, because Juan Soto's got an ego the size of New York.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed. 100%.
So there was no way that this was going to happen. But the Dodgers don't need to go absolutely crazy and start spending monopoly money on you.
Well, that's what they're doing.
They don't need to, but they can, because they have that incredible deal.
What I'm going to tell you is I'm going to bring up Brian Cashman. That's who I'm going to bring up right now. Right? Brian Cashman can moan and complain about, and everybody can moan and complain about the Dodgers going out and spending stupid money. But guess what? They're going to win another World Series. Right? I believe that wholeheartedly. Right? They have absolutely reloaded.
The only thing that can stop them is themselves.
They have absolutely reloaded. They're going to win another World Series, and guess what? While we're all complaining, they're going to be freaking putting pelts on the wall.
Well, here's two things.
And it wears me out.
Right. It wears me out because I know that the small market teams are complaining. Well, you know what? The small market teams like Cleveland, Oakland, Miami, guess what? They got a cut of that luxury tax.
Yep.
So they say, you know what? We're not going to sign him anyway. We're never going to sign him. We're not in the business. So you know what? Go ahead, Dodgers. Go overhead and overspend. Thank you very much for that luxury tax revenue. And you know what they're going to do with it? They're going to put it in their pocket.
Right.
Because there's no salary floor.
But that is my point. That is my point. Is that all these teams that want to complain or want to say, like, they're not contenders.
They're not complaining because they're making money. If they weren't making money, they'd be selling. You know who's complaining is the fans. The fans of like 15, 18 teams that know when their team reports for spring training, either in Arizona or Florida, they don't have a shot.
Speak with your wallet. That's all I can tell you. Speak with your wallet.
Yeah. Well, a
lot of fans are unwilling to do that.
I know of a Brewers fan, shout out to Wally. He says, I'm not spending a dime on my team because Mark Contanasio continues to raise ticket prices and concession prices, parking prices, yet the payroll remains the same. He's like, no, I'm done. So, a spirited discussion. Thank you, Aric. Love it. There's still a couple of free agents out there, but this one's the biggest.
Yeah, this was the fish. Dodgers win again. As much as it's wearing me out, man, I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it. I really do.
All right, let's bring in our master of ceremonies here, Bryant Chase, who is getting over a cold. I'm hoping you're feeling better for round 5 of our extra innings trivia game. You know the rules. He will ask us each 5 questions. The subject is Hall of Fame pitchers who made their debut since 1980. We actually said in the previous episode it was 1990. We found out there was only like 8 of them, so we'd expand the list a little bit. We will each have 30 seconds to answer a question. Each question is worth 3 points. If we want to buy a hint, that costs us a point. If we answer it incorrectly, the other person has a chance to steal a point by answering the question correctly. And so let's get down to it. I don't know who's first. It doesn't matter to me because I'm hoping
But we are abandoning American and National League here.
We are absolutely.
Right? Yeah. It's just everybody.
Yeah.
It's just everybody. So, all right. I'm going to turn the board over to you, and hopefully we can hear Bryant this time. Poor guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll speak up nice and loud for you guys today. Yes, I had a little bit of a cold, but who doesn't right now? So hopefully we are going to be hearing me loud and clear. So we're going to go ahead and start. It's going to be a true or false question for each of you to start. Get you guys warmed up a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Aric. Aric, your question is going to be true or false. Mike Mussina never won more than 20 games in a single season.
That is true. Oh my gosh!
Oddly enough, it was his final season. In 2008, he won 20 games.
Well, I know he.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you could have.
No, wait a minute. He's right. You said never won more than 20.
Yeah, he's.
Hey, that's
you answered. You asked the question incorrectly.
Thank you for that caveat, Mike. Thank you.
No,
but
I knew he won 20. So when I was like, wait a minute.
But here's the deal. I really don't deserve that, right? Because I didn't think he had won 20. But the question was asked incorrectly, so I'll take it.
Take the points.
But here's what I will tell you. Mike Mussina, he's a borderline guy for me.
Yeah.
He's a borderline Hall of Famer. He had massive consistency. I think he won 10 games, 18 years in a row or something like that. Very impressive, and that's why he's in the Hall.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall.
And he's got rings. And
yeah. So
he was just extremely consistent over a long period of
very
time.
Very consistent over a very long period of time.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
Well,
Thank
Babbo,
Mike.
you are a fantastic sport for that.
Charity. That's what everybody needs from the Dodgers. Charity.
All right, Mike. Well, your question also true or false?
Better be easy.
True or false? CC Sabathia pitched under 350 total ERA for his career.
Wow. I'm going to say false. It's like 353?
373, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Let me confirm that for you.
350 is a stout number.
374. There were a fair amount of pitchers that did pitch under 350. He was not one of them.
He's not one of them.
So,
all right.
Well, you guys got those true or false questions just nice and easy. And now we'll go ahead and switch to a multiple choice. The stats ones are a little more difficult, so we figured let you guys feel good about yourselves to start. Aric, your question. In what year did Tom Glavine make his MLB debut?
Tom Glavine?
Glavine. I apologize. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Oof. Remember, I was born in 96. 80,
Can I get a repeat of the question?
In what year did Tom Glavine make his MLB debut? Was it A, 1984, B, 1985, C, 1986, D, 1987?
I'm going to go with 1987.
Very good.
Fun fact for you, that was 2 years before he was a full-time starter. So he did debut in 87, but he did not become a starter until 89.
Did he? He debuted with the Braves, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
because he played with the Mets late in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are off to a nice, fine start. Mr. Babbo. And this is, I was going to give this one to Aric, but I'm going to give it to you. How many times was Mariano Rivera selected as an all-star? Was it A, 9, B, 10, C, 12, or D, 13?
I know he has the most All-Star appearances of all the Hall of Famers, so I'm going to say 13.
Very close. Aric, would you like to take a
Can I get
wager?
a repeat of the question?
Yeah. How many times was Mariano Rivera selected as an all-star? A, 9, B, 10, C, 12, D, 13.
I'm going to go with C.
It was correct, 12.
Dang it.
More than Trevor Hoffman, as he
Steals
did
are
have the
tough
most.
in this little
Yeah.
setup.
All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to the statistics, single answer questions. All right. Aric, what was Pedro Martinez's career whip?
Oh, what? Wow.
That's pretty intense. Pedro Martinez's career whip.
Aric, if you get this, I bow. I mean,
I have no idea. I couldn't even be like, that's a type of multiple choice question.
yeah, do I get like
Give
is
this
there
guy
an
a
air-
range.
Yeah,
At least
is
give
there
him a
an air
range.
factor here?
Could have asked for a hint.
Yeah, I could have. I don't know if it would have
Here, I'll
helped.
give you one hint.
No, give Mike the hint.
no.
Give Mike the hint. It's
Give me
stealing
the
here.
Below 1.5,
Okay.
above 1.
I'm going to say 1.32.
I know it was a really shot in the dark, but it's the best career whip in history, so that's why I threw that in there at 1.05.
Holy smokes.
That is.
It was a number that I thought was quite
That's
ridiculous.
heady
so
stuff.
that's why I had to throw that in there because
That is-
I thought it was miraculous.
Yeah, that is pretty. That's
stingy.
pretty impressive. Yeah, for sure.
All right,
sure.
Don't worry. This question's going to be difficult for you too, Mike.
Great.
How many strikeouts did Randy Johnson record in his 2001 Cy Young season?
Can I get a hint?
It was his career high.
Uh, 320.
Ooh, that was a little strange there.
Can I get a hint?
It was more than 350.
Holy smokes.
I'm gonna go with 371.
He was close. He was close, wasn't
Add
he?
a single digit to that. 372 strikeouts.
Damn.
Career high for Mr. Johnson.
You know what? I'd almost lobby that you should get partial credit for that, but I already helped you out. First question.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. No more charity.
No, don't worry. Okay. Aric, your question. And this one is another doozy. I will give you points if you're within 50 of this answer.
Okay.
Okay.
How many batters did Greg Maddux walk in his career?
Can I get a hint?
Jeez Louise.
The number is under 1,100.
I'm gonna go with 835.
Let's see.
Still
He spent 23 years.
not
in
a
the
lot of
game.
walks.
Shockingly low number. Right.
23 years in the game. Let me see. Let's suppose. I know he had 37 starts one year, which was insane to me. Let's say he averaged 34 starts. 23. That's 782 times, let's call it 7 innings a start. Let's call it 630.
A lot higher than that. It was take one off the 1,000 mark. It was 999 walks, which is also another shocking.
Still a really
number.
low
Eric,
number.
I think we need to take this guy out back and beat him up.
I mean, these.
I gave you guys walks in the park.
These are
with
sick,
those.
man.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's why
thank
we
you
give
for those first two questions.
All right, another question where we will go ahead and give you a little gift of within 20, plus or minus.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
All right, Mike, how many games did
Wait,
John...
you just asked me a question.
No,
I
asked
sorry,
Eric,
that was a
so
test.
We're back on you, Mike.
Yeah.
How many games did John Smoltz start in his career?
God dang. I know he didn't win start. Oh, wow. Because I know he ended up being a reliever. Let's call it... can I get a hint?
Number is going to be between 200 and 300. I can't give you much more than that.
Yeah, okay. Let's call it 260.
You know, that's within the 20 threshold.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
We were trying to throw you off a little bit because you caught on with the reliever bit on that. It was 241. Those final years when he was a closer. Yeah,
Barely.
Yeah, that's why
Barely.
understanding his record doesn't help.
What's that now?
Right, understanding his record doesn't help there.
No,
because
not really.
He spent a bunch of time in the pen.
Longevity in time. That's the narrative a lot these days. Being available.
That hurt my brain.
All right, Eric, your threshold's gonna be a little bit smaller on this one because I think you know this question a little bit better. Just happen to be in the line of there.
We'll see.
How many career saves did Mariano Rivera finish with? And you'll be within plus or minus 15.
Oh, my God. How come I don't know?
Career saves.
Oh, I know. I think I know this one.
I don't know this one. I should know this one.
You should know this one.
Can I get a hint?
Shame on you.
It was more than 600. Most in MLB history.
Yep.
Total saves.
Total saves.
Um, 595.
You said more than 600, right?
I did say more than 600.
It's north of that. Yeah, it's north of that.
Yeah, okay. 672.
No,
It's not quite in the 15 threshold. It was 652.
That's within 20.
I said 15 when I said that. That's why I had to hold it to you. Hey, that's very good, though. I'll give you a chance to take a...
No, I studied it. You know what I did? I lined up all the 11 pitchers in the Hall of Fame, and I highlighted who had the most of each category, or the least, like lowest
I get
CRA.
them convoluted, though. Like I'm
there's 11, 12 names in there, and
I'm
they all
also
look the
sitting there
same.
thinking, like, Hoffman, I think, had 601. Like, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember.
Well, we're going to keep the save question going for this final question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a single season number.
Yeah.
How many saves did Trevor Hoffman record in 1998?
How many?
How many saves in 1998?
No, I know, but what's my bandwidth here?
Your bandwidth is going to be 7. It was his career high.
Can I get a hint?
Yeah, it was the year he finished second Cy Young voting and sub 70 plus 40.
48.
That is within the threshold.
What was the number?
It was 53.
It's a lot of
I was going to say
saves.
52. I was between 52 and 48.
Anything north of 40 is a lot of saves.
It was the only time in his career that he had more than 50 saves in a season.
And you know what? And he had only one batter. I think he had only 9 batters in his entire career. And his first one, Bobby Thompson, 1993, in a game in September. You know why I know that? Because I was there.
Why didn't you ask him that?
I don't know. Last time I tried to throw a stat like that, you're like, what? So, hey, you guys took advantage of the points when you needed to. Looks like, Eric, you had a astounding 7 points to Mike's 5 that round. So Eric was
Wow,
able to get
very
some
good.
back on
Yes.
there.
I'm back in business,
because of round one, the gift.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. I will take the victory.
Never again.
I will take the victory and give
Never
Mike
again.
no credit.
When you
Because
have,
I knew the answer to that question, too.
when you have it down to 12 players, you got to make the questions a little more difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that.
But I did like that narrowed field. I liked the ability to kind of study up on a very specific kind of subset.
It kind of makes you appreciate the Hall of Fame a little bit more when you understand, hey, it's not just about the record numbers or the milestone years.
100%. I will say, I know this. I'm going to leave the fans with some controversial content here.
Yeah.
And this will drive Mike nuts, but he's going to have to end the show here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if Tom Glavine were pitching today, it would be a different ball game.
I don't think that's controversial.
I'm sorry,
at
not
all.
Tom Glavine. I'm sorry, Greg Maddux.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I'm not even sure that he would crack a roster.
But right now, I agree with that. I didn't know if you agreed with that because I have a lot of friends that don't agree with that.
No, I do agree with that. Because he never broke a pane of glass with his.
I don't think he can make a team.
Too. Eddie Perez, his catcher, his designated catcher, got a lot of latitude with the home plate umpire with the strike zone. I mean, he got at least 5-6 inches on either side of the plate. He used it. And he was a professor, and he had an incredible memory for how to pitch to each hitter.
Look, I 100%, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Greg Maddux is one of the greatest pitchers in the history of the game. But I will tell you, post-2010, 2015, he'd have a hard time cracking a roster.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've talked to Jeremy about this many times. Jeremy Affeldt, 3-time World Series winner, who said, if you can throw a strike, but nowadays, it's about
how hard can you throw?
Yeah, how hard can you throw?
Yep, for sure.
It's a shame. It's a different game, and a guy like Greg Maddux, like you said, one of the best pitchers of all time, probably wouldn't be around.
I didn't know you would be in my camp there, so I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's unfortunate the way it's gone to today. So.
100%.
That'll do it for this episode of the Pick Top Podcast. We want to thank you all for listening in. We also want to thank you for your feedback. We want to make this show better because we do it for you. You can catch us every week on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on X at @TheBitterMike or on Instagram, BitterMike1963. Time is precious, so we appreciate you spending some of yours with us, Mike and Aric and Brian, talking the great game of baseball. Have a great weekend, everyone. See ya.
See ya.
Nobody down. If you don't want, you don't have to. You know you don't want. Oh yeah. If you don't want, you don't have to. Oh, you better leave my woman alone. Well, I know you got your money and you've got a new 56 too. But if I ever see my little girl in your new car, I'm gonna do some work on you. If you don't want, you don't have to. You know you don't